Yes, my name is Eric Adams. I'm a senior editor at Men's Health Magazine, and I'm the technology director for the magazine, which means that I filter out technology for our readers. And our readers are age 25 to 40 and beyond in both directions, very interested in health and fitness. And so we're interested in the technology that helps them. And that includes anything really on the floor out here, but also a special consideration for health and fitness-oriented technology. Now, during the year, I attend 2 shows on behalf of Men's Health. One of them is Outdoor Retailer in Salt Lake City, and the second is CES right here. At last year's Outdoor Retailer show out in Salt Lake, I noticed 2 things. One, just how much the manufacturers there were catering to what I call fitness-motivated, active lifestyle crowd, to that group of people, in which recreation equals exercise, okay, at least when fun outdoor activities provide more challenging and satisfying, and a more challenging and satisfying format for fitness than gyms or basements, okay? And the evidence that I saw out there were companies like North Face, Patagonia, Marmot. They all have products that are either designed to encourage exercise in the outdoors or designed to be multi-purpose, whether it's workout clothes engineered to withstand the abrasion encountered while scrambling over rocks, or offering the range of motion necessary to accommodate backpacks and other gear, or whether it's gear intended to function both in the wild and in your daily life. So you can go rock climbing in the morning and then head to the restaurant afterwards. So the gear that I'm seeing at Outdoor Retailer is starting to accommodate active lifestyles, not just sports and dedicated activities that people are doing. Now, the other thing I noticed out there is how much it felt like CES in certain ways. There are the companies, there's a lot of duplication. There's a lot of companies that are now at Outdoor Retailer and a lot that are here, and it's encroaching on Outdoor Retailer. In fact, so many manufacturers represent, camera makers, GPS devices, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi enabled technology functioning outdoors or in support of outdoor activities. And as much as people comment right now, and I'm the last person to make grand proclamations or predictions because I'm usually wrong, as much as they say that automotive is a burgeoning category here at CES now, and the same is true with health and fitness, which grows in acreage every year out there on the floor, the same is probably going to be true in a few years of outdoor technology, gear that is designed to accommodate active lifestyles out there. And that's great news because we at Men's Health Magazine believe firmly that the more our population engages the outdoors, the healthier it will be. And given our worldwide population's enchantment with all the stuff that we see out there on the floor on CES, it's only natural that this tech starts to migrate with them to the outdoors. And not just in terms of smartphones that are clothed in life-proof cases or OtterBox cases. The tech needs to exist to encourage and enhance outdoor activity, and by extension, foster greater health and fitness in the population. So that's my platform for the day. And of course, with great opportunity comes great challenge. As much as people want to bring the tech out on their adventures, there are limiting factors, and there are deterrents, battery life, weight, or durability. And gradually, each one of those, with any one of these categories, is being ticked off. And that's why we're here today, is to talk to these 3 gentlemen from leading manufacturers. We've got Aftershocks, Looksee, and Magellan, of outdoor-oriented consumer technology. And they're providing increasingly adaptive, motivational, and supportive technology that accommodates and encourages active lifestyles. And that's what this is about, is seeing what their market is telling them about what they want. So our panel today, right here on my left, is Bruce Borenstein. He's the president and CEO of Aftershocks, the manufacturer of the open-ear bone conduction headphones. And I believe very firmly, from my own experience and also our readers, that integrating music and communication into your exercise and your outdoor and your recreation is key to prolonging your activities with it. We also have Eric Newton, who's the Senior Director of Product Marketing for Looksee, and they manufacture a range of live streaming, mobile connected video cameras. And then Clark Weber, Senior Director of Fitness Products for Magellan. And they, of course, manufacture all manner of GPS-enabled devices, including the new Echo product, which carries several clever twists on that idea. So I'm going to introduce these guys, or ask them to talk for just a minute about some of their technology, what they're announcing or showing off here at CES, and mention how they see themselves kind of fitting into this active lifestyle mission. So let's start with Bruce from Aftershocks. Can you tell us what you have I've forgotten the pronunciation of it. It's
I'm wearing the Blues too.
The Blues, yes. B-L-U-E-Z. Thank you.
Yes. And we do open ear headphones via bone conduction. One of the things that we felt was very important and somewhat missing in the headphone category, which has become a very big business these days with many, many players, is the safety component. And the safety component revolving around being situationally aware. So if you're out running or you're riding your bike or you're on your snowboard, that you have the ability not only to enjoy your music, but to also be able to be aware of your surroundings from a safety standpoint. So if you're a runner and you're running out on the street and you want to be able to hear cars or emergency vehicles, any situation where you would find yourself being in need of your ears, hence open ear, allows you to really enjoy the best of both worlds with your outdoor activity, to be able to hear your music, take a phone call, but also be able to be safe because you know what's going on around you.
Okay, and how do you think that this technology will help encourage people to be out more? I know for me, if I am out and engaged in activity, the more fun I'm having, the longer I do it. And that's the case with music. I have to have my tunes with me. And I don't wear things when I'm biking, okay, just because it's a safety problem. Do you think that that's encouraging people to be out and be more fit and healthy?
Absolutely. Clearly, a good case in point, we just got word, for example, from the folks in the UK who sponsor the Manchester Marathon. In the past, there wasn't a single sanctioned marathon race that would allow you to wear headphones from a participation standpoint. Nice. Recognizing, though, that everyone who's in a marathon trains extensively to participate, and more often than not is listening to music to ease the pain, if you will, from running in a marathon race. They've just sanctioned Aftershocks as the only headphone that'll be able to be used while you're actually running in the race. And they did that because they, in their evaluations, found that it was the only headphone that truly allowed for the participants to hear directions from the race organizers, as well as while they're out on the road to be able to be aware of their surroundings from a safety standpoint. So clearly, the ability to be able to be situationally aware and still enjoy your music is definitely going to extend, and not only extend the time that you may engage in that activity, but in many cases encourage folks who perhaps would not have engaged in activity to do so, because now they have their music companion.
Awesome, very good. Let's move on for a couple minutes to Eric at Looksee. And you make a range of cameras that are very social oriented. And from my own experience of watching countless YouTube videos of people engaged in action or active adrenaline sports, or even just out doing their thing, and whenever I watch a video like that, especially a nice one, I just come to this realization that I completely wasted my life, and I have to get up off the couch and do something about it. Yep. How do you think, well, first of all, what are you talking about here at CES this week, and what do you think these technologies can do to contribute to a better outdoor experience and a more engaged participant?
Sure, let me start with a quick introduction. Looksee is a 4-year-old company, and we are on our 4th generation product. This is the Looksee 3, which we launched a couple months ago, and this is what we're kind of showcasing here at CES. We specialize in taking the fat video stream and squishing it down over the thin mobile pipes that you need to transmit what you're doing, why you're doing it, to people you want to share that experience with. This camera, we've decided to go from more of a mountable head mount area up here to a more wearable. And what we're looking for is to kind of attach to wearable, social, and affordable. So we kind of came down to this form factor with a very lightweight 1.3 ounce camera that has colored skins that make it fit in better with what you're doing, and lots of mounting options to make it easy to use when you're out either exercising or doing activities. Okay. So your question was about Motivational? How is it motivational to use video?
Yeah, how is it motivational, or how does it, what's the psychology behind capturing your activities? And you aren't wearing this when you're just walking through your life generally, or driving down the street necessarily, unless you live in Russia, but you know.
Right.
But so what is the psychology here? Why would somebody do this, and what is the benefit of it?
I think we're capitalizing on a trend of kind of the ubiquity of me and my life and the people that I want to share it with. So if I'm doing something, I'm interested in what I'm doing. I'm interested in capturing it. I might want to capture that video and look at it later, or I might want to share it with people who are in my social circle. This camera streams live to Facebook, so it gives people a prompt and lets them know that I'm doing something that I want to show them. So either the sharing it with, capturing it for later consumption for myself, or sharing it with other people is inherently motivational, because it is social, and that helps people, plan more interesting activities and take on more challenges in sports and fitness.
Terrific. Let's jump on to Clark at Magellan. And as I mentioned, they manufacture all kinds of GPS products that we're all very familiar with. This new one, Echo, is a bit of a departure from them, because it offloads the GPS from the device and syncs up with your smartphone, which of course has its own GPS built in. So in a way, it's eliminating redundancy, and I presume slimming down the watch and stretching the battery life. So what's the thinking here?
So basically, when I came on board from Magellan, I actually came from Garmin, and they brought me over to kind of help kickstart their fitness product line. And the idea was, let's go head-to-head with Garmin. They've been at it for 7 years, and that proved to be a very difficult task. They pretty much own the whole GPS sports market right now. And we looked back at it and said, what can we do to compete? And it dawned on us when talking to a lot of the app developers and a lot of customers that people are actually trending more from using a dedicated GPS watch or bike computer to track their activities, but they're bringing their smartphones with them. The apps at this point are a lot more compelling, a lot more powerful. They update all of the time. And also people bring their phones with them for safety reasons, and they like to listen to music as well. So it's really important. And we realized that, okay, how are we going to survive here going against Garmin and also the smartphone? What we realized is that the smartphone, while it's very powerful and it's great to track your outdoor activities, the form factor is lacking in terms of being able to get that real-time analysis, alerts and information, just because it's tucked away in a pocket or up on your arm. And so we decided to build Echo, which is a smartwatch. But unlike other smartwatches, which tend to try to be a companion to your smartphone all day long, we specifically designed this watch just for sporting activities. So we wanted to make something that looked good while you're running. It was ruggedized, yet still lightweight, but leveraged all the power of the smartphone. And that's what we tried to do.
Terrific. Now let's jump back to Bruce at Aftershocks. Now, this is a pretty unique technology, the bone conduction. Obviously, it's been present in the military and other industrial applications for a long time, and it's now starting to trickle out into the consumer realm. What have you done here with this device? You mentioned a few things about it when we were talking, that it eliminates the sound leak, which we talk about music being inspirational. You don't want to inspire everyone else around you necessarily. You just want
This is true. One of the inherent qualities of bone conduction is that because it's not going in your ear or your ears are not covered, obviously there's going to be leakage from the earpieces. And in our first generation product, it was a issue that, particularly if you're in a group of people and you're listening to music, you're listening at a high volume, they weren't necessarily appreciative of also listening to your music, which they may or may not like. So the engineering team was able to come up with a technology which we've now patented called Leak Slayer. And what it does, it's very similar to noise canceling in the sense that noise canceling works by introducing noise at a different frequency that then cancels out the frequency that you're looking to eliminate. This is very similar. We've put in some additional holes in the headset that actually has that sound leaking But that sound leakage frequency then counters the other frequencies so that, in essence, it doesn't completely eliminate the sound leakage, but it minimizes it to the point that it's not necessarily going to be annoying to somebody else who's in the same general vicinity that you're in.
And one of the other advantages here that we're talking about with when you're wearing fitness earbuds while working out, at least with me, again, they become uncomfortable. They can get wet, especially if it's raining and if you start sweating in them.
Right.
And that can interrupt the sound quality and make for a very uncomfortable experience. And you don't really have that problem with.
Yeah,
with
and
this
I've been
technology.
wearing these since we came in this morning to the show, and there are moments when I actually forget that I have them on. And comfort in an activity is obviously very important. Clearly somewhat flattering to us. We've only been in the marketplace for, this is our third year at CES. People want to talk about safety. Safety has become a very critical component of doing outdoor activities, and specifically as it pertains to headphones. And while other companies have been, doing some different things, Bose, as an example, has introduced microphones to pick up ambient noise and then to process them so that you're actually hearing your music and then hearing ambient noise. But it's not true ambient noise. It's not directional. It tends to be somewhat masking. And really, the only way to really be situationally aware and allow ambient noise in is to have your ears open. And so in addition to the bone conduction technology being the only true way to keep one's ears open, another additional benefit is the comfort factor, because, to your point, Eric, people just dislike putting things in their ears for any extended periods of time. Some people can't. We found that there's been a market for us with folks that wear hearing aids, because they don't have to take their hearing aids out and still are able to, and then retune them, are still able to listen to stereo sound. So you have the safety component, you have the comfort component, and we're finding more and more that when people find out that there is a solution that addresses those two concerns, which are very serious concerns, that aftershocks becomes a solution for them.
Okay, and are you finding that the breadth of activities that people would consider using music with is increasing? As I mentioned, like the fact that I don't typically ride with, cycle with music
Absolutely.
in my ears. Are there other sort of like issues or sports or activities that kind of surprise you? Like, oh wow, I'm surprised that they're using that. What are some of the things that your customer base has shown you since this?
Well, really, not so much surprising. It's just the breadth of activity. Biking is a case in point where, one, again, from a safety standpoint, is typically wearing a helmet. This new design of our wireless product, and most people who bike do not like to necessarily be plugged in to something, whether it's their smartphone or an MP3 player, whatever it may be.
Right.
And so with Bluetooth, now we're able to provide a wireless solution. But this new industrial design that we came out with also now makes it very comfortable to wear your helmet along with your AfterShokz headset. And that would also be true for folks who ski or who snowboard. Really, virtually any outdoor activity that one would engage in where you would like to be able to stay connected,
Yeah.
Which we obviously allow you to do, not just from a music standpoint, but also to your phone. And remain situationally aware. It really runs the gamut of activity.
Okay. And so, to the extent that you are able to talk about this, what is the future of this technology? What do you see as like 5 years from now? How is bone conduction going to leach out into other realms of usage?
It has. There are other applications where bone conduction that can come into play. Some of those are really very in its infancy in terms of conversation right now. So our real focus has been taking the bone conduction technology and improving it in ways that make the experience for the user that much more enjoyable, and just to allow more and more folks to become aware of bone conduction as a solution, and then improve both the audio quality and the comfort factor, the usability. This particular headset that I'm wearing, the Blues 2, has enabled us because we've been able to use a smaller battery with a new Bluetooth chip that now has allowed us to kind of reduce the size and make the feel of the headset much more balanced so that when you are using it for outdoor activity, it feels very stable and comfortable.
Awesome. Let's cycle back over to Eric at Looksee. Now, when I moderated this panel last year, the note that I was harping on was retention, how you keep people engaged in an activity. And last year it was focused very much on fitness technology and fitness trackers and things like that, and how you keep them using it and not just putting it on the shelf. And the same presumably is true with cameras, where they might buy it, use it a couple times, and kind of forget it's there, either because of weight or battery life or hassle, or the user interface isn't up to par. What have you guys done with this new version, or across the board with your updates, that has gone toward retention to encourage people to keep using this technology and keep having fun with it?
Yeah, I think the rules that apply to general consumer electronics apply to even a higher degree with fitness and outdoor and active products. Products have to be convenient, they have to be flexible, they have to be durable and rugged, they have to be easy to use. And I think easy to use is even more critical, because the main purpose of my activity is the activity, and using my technology as an accessory has to be kind of quick and easy to set up and intuitive. And that's what we've tried to do by moving to this wearable section and providing more mounts and more customization so that it blends in more with what I'm doing in my activities.
Okay, and what about the offloading of the content and the interface with which you are able to process it and stream it? Like, is the ease of streaming, how has that improved over the years, and what are you hoping to do with it?
Yeah, we still have a dependency on the mobile network itself, so you're always dealing with the availability of bandwidth to stream live, but you can always make a local recording and take those recordings and quickly upload them to a computer, repurpose them into any kind of video application that you want to share them with other people. The directly connected video application, we stream live to Facebook, and we stream live to the Looksee server, so you can notify people that the video is available there. And we allow people to store their video in perpetuity with no limitations on how much video they have up on the Looksee server.
That's awesome. And the quality of the footage and the audio quality, is that all growing commensurate with the ease of use?
Yeah, you're always working to make video quality better, ease of use better, and audio better, but you're also struggling against the constraints of the battery capacity and the size and the weight of the device. So you kind of work on those in balance and make a couple of trade-offs to come up with a product at a price that satisfies majority of the needs of the market you're looking at.
Right. And going back to the psychology of this, of the wearable camera, and I asked Bruce about surprises. What surprises have you seen with this? Like, do you have a favorite video or a favorite trend of people using the technology out in the wild? What are you seeing out there?
One of the most amazing videos I've seen anybody make with a Looksee was a red wolf that was at the Wolf Conservancy in New York. There was somebody working with a camera on his hat, and he put down his hat and his camera, and the wolf grabbed the camera and ran off with the camera in its jaws. And the video is of like the camera sticking out from, and you can see the wolf's teeth as it runs off, and then eventually drops the camera, and they recovered it and shared the video with us. It's rather than a hands-free video, it was a pause-free video. Really interesting one. Some of the other videos I've made that have been a lot of fun, like I was out on a Segway ride, streaming the video to other people in the family. You can kind of see, wow, that's a good outing. Went out whale watching, and I don't know if you've been whale watching, but there's a lot of watching, waiting for the moment when the whales jump up. And there's a real distracting experience of having your hands or your camera or your phone in front of your face as you're trying to look out there. And what you really want to do is see whales with your eyes, but you do also want to capture that video and remember what it looked like, because it happens real quick. And we were on an amazing 1-hour journey out in Monterey Bay, caught 75 whale breaches, and all of them are kind of captured on my Looksee. And in the meantime, we're just watching and kind of, we say stay in the moment, share life as you live it, but stay in the moment by not having your camera in front of your face. So those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, and I think with a lot of these videos that the engagement of the viewer, not just the person who's producing it.
Yeah.
The engagement of the viewer is dependent on the quality of the video execution, not necessarily the video quality itself, but where the camera is worn and how
Yeah.
it's worn and how shaky it is. Like if you're watching a 12-year-old kid skateboard down the street, it's gonna make you throw up after a few minutes. What are you seeing in terms of people being attentive to that? Are they aware of how they should be mounting the camera and should be using it? What kinds of footage works and what doesn't work?
Yeah, you definitely get used to, if you wear the mount I'm wearing right now, you get used to not talking with your hands right in front of your chest because they get in the way of the camera. So you become a little more like when you're on stage or when you're on camera, you start to be more familiar with moving a little bit less to get a better camera shot when you are the human tripod. So I think you get naturally used to it as you produce video. But I think the social aspect of it is raw footage. It is, I'm interested because I'm interested in what you're doing.
Right.
So the video expectation, the standard that people have towards video quality goes down a little bit because you are very familiar to me and I'm intrinsically interested in what you do because I like you.
Right. And do you think that motivates people to, continue this engagement and also helps get people who are watching this kind of, like I said earlier about myself, off the couch and doing this kind of thing?
Absolutely. When you share an excellent experience with somebody else, other people say, hey, I'd like to go whale watching. I'd like to go Segway. I don't know about the wolf thing. I'm not sure if the wolf is going to encourage us to go out to the Wolf Conservancy. But yeah, I definitely think when you share those things with people, it's one of the points of sharing is kind of inspire other people and give them some enjoyment and possibly the opportunity to have the same experience at another time.
Yeah. But also that being your favorite video, that was sort of a surprise, unexpected moment. Whereas I imagine there's like two categories of video. One is you going out deliberately shooting a video of you going through this half pipe or whatever,
Right.
Versus just having it on, like I mentioned
Sure.
earlier, which
Yeah.
is a lot of people may not necessarily think instinctively to do,
Yeah.
but that's how you capture that. And I think, as I understand it, this has a clip function so that you can sort of cycle in perpetuity,
Right.
and then
So
you can.
it has a DVR mode, so you can kind of leave it on, recording background of what you're doing, and if something exciting happens, you can push the button and hold it, and it'll make a hard recording, or you can go back into the software and pull out what we call that look-see moment, where something amazing happened. It could be something unpleasant, like a car crash, where you want to see exactly what the details were, or when the wolf picked up the camera. So definitely, I think spontaneous moments are the most interesting and the most compelling. And in order to do that, the technology has to be with us in the background. It has to kind of be more ubiquitous to our experience in order to capture that 10 seconds, that 20 seconds, that 30 seconds of something really cool that happened. That excites people and excites me as the person who created the video, and I think it's exciting for people to see something kind of true and spontaneous.
Awesome. Very good. And back over to Clark at Magellan for a couple minutes. Talking about the technology being in the background or being part of our life. I mean, everybody knows all about the smartwatches that are out there, and this is an interesting, unique twist on that because it keeps your phone in your pocket, but it functions as a fitness watch, but also, I take it, a conventional watch, and people are able to still interact with their devices through the watch. Is that something you're seeing that your customers want, and what are the benefits of that, and what do you think the future is for that technology, the smartwatch technology?
Yeah, I think a lot of people I think are hoping at this year's CES that we're going to see the golden egg and the watch that rules them all. I think that's what people are hoping to find, and my take on it is I don't see that happening. I think there is going to be just your everyday watch that needs to be connected somehow to your phone to help with notifications and stuff like that, keep you on track with your calendar. But you're also going to have watches or heads-up displays, whatever it may be, that are very specific to certain use cases. And what we wanted to do with Echo specifically was to build a watch that this runs off a coin cell battery. So it's you don't have to charge this. It'll last 6 to 12 months, depending on how often you're using the watch. And if you're running with your phone, which tens of millions of people do every day, it's hard enough to make sure that your phone is charged the whole time. The last thing you want to do is worry about having a watch that you have to charge. And if you try to build a smartwatch that's also connected to your phone all day long, then you're going to lose that. It's going to be draining the battery off of your watch. So I think you just need to be very focused, kind of stay in your lane, and build products that enhance the experience for certain types of users. We're not trying to be Pebble. We're not trying to be Gear. trying to own your wrist. We just want you to wear the Echo or whatever device that you like that helps you while you run, while you ride, while you ski, while you golf.
And it communicates with multiple apps, multiple fitness apps. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the beauty of Echo. So it's an open platform. So we have an SDK that's available to any app developer that wants to use Echo. The nice thing is that not only can you use Echo as a display mechanism, so the app developer can fully customize this display. What types of fields they want, how many pages of fields do they want, alerts, notifications while you're doing your exercise. But moreover, it also acts as a remote control. So you can control the app from the watch itself. So a bummer when you want to go for a run or for a ride and you're using these apps with your phone is you may want to stretch or you're waiting around, and it stinks to have to go pull out your phone right before you're done and hit start and then put it away. The nice thing with this product is that I can keep my phone tucked away from the get-go, and then when I'm ready to run, I just hit a button, start, and then I'm on my way.
Okay.
So Eric was talking about this. We want to make sure that while you're running, that you don't have to worry about anything else. Just focus on your experience, have the greatest time, and when you want to see the data occasionally, you can just pull up your wrist.
And that sort of contributes to the psychology of prolonging your experience by integrating the technology in a way that's helpful and non-intrusive and not a hindrance, not trying to fumble with your phone while you're
Yep.
running or climbing or anything like that.
Absolutely. So when we launched Echo, it was focused primarily on fitness, and what we've announced at CES is that we're expanding into other categories within the sports realm. So even for hiking, we're going to be all trails. We'll be working with Echo. And one of the nice things there is if I'm out hiking and I'm following a route, I can keep my phone in my pocket or in my backpack. And when I come to an intersection or wherever it may be, and maybe I'm lost, I don't have to go digging around or pull out my phone and kind of ruin that experience or follow your phone the whole time while you're hiking. I can have it tucked away, and then the directions or where to turn can just show up on my wrist through the app. So it's really just trying to enhance the experience. The app developers love it because it gives a whole new dimension to their app. It's funny, especially in the fitness world, everyone has these very good-looking UIs on their apps, but half the time people don't even see them, right? Because they're just tucked away. So for them, this just gives their customers another way to interface with their app and also to stay further engaged.
Awesome. We have about 6 or 7 minutes left, so I'm going to open it up to any questions people might have. But first, any final comments or thoughts on these threads that we've been exploring before I open it up? We all good? Or?
Yeah.
So any questions from the floor? Oh.
Anybody got a question for our panelists?
Hi, it's really great to hear about all of your groundbreaking products. I'd like to step one level up for a minute and ask about when you go and play in the park, or you walk your dog, or you just go for a walk outside. These are outdoor things. These are good for fitness, but it's not the category that you're selling to. I don't think my mom who goes out and walks the dog is going to be buying the Echo very quickly as soon as I will. But what kind of technology does it take to break through to that mass of people that are doing other activities that are just good for you?
Well, I know for me, I think probably different than Clark and Eric, headphones are about as ubiquitous a product as you can find in the consumer electronics space, and really runs the gamut from age groups and activity, to your point about whether it's walking or really almost doesn't matter. There's always that connection. Music runs the gamut of age and activity. So I don't necessarily think there's an issue there for my product.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think for us, we are very focused on people that are using their phone for a specific type of activity. But I think in terms of going downstream and getting people engaged into wearables and tracking their lives, I think obviously the success that we're seeing with just the activity trackers and what Fitbit's been able to do. I had a phone call from my mom last week, and we were out, we rented a house to go skiing, and she left her Fitbit behind, and she called me in a panic. She literally was like losing breath saying, I've lost my Fitbit, and I think I left it at the house. And I said, Mom, I found it. We shipped it back to you. And she said, did you FedEx it to me? I was like, no, it's just in the mail. And she was mad because she knew that I was going to keep ahead of her on the leaderboard. And this was my mom. She's 70 years old. And when I got that call, I knew that there's something happening there. And it's definitely hitting folks that normally wouldn't partake in this technology.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you very much.